Well, we know how much physicians love change. What did your doctors think, moving over to a new EHR and how have they sort of been on that journey for the past year now?
Yeah. So that's a great question. I am definitely a little grayer than I was when I first started this journey. And so we used to joke and say that we need to invest in Kevlar vest. But I think that the change was rough for many of them, but there were also other things happening. Again, their clinics were short on MAs. They didn't have super users in the clinic. The trainings, we've started working with Class Arch Collaborative, and we've really learned that what we were teaching was buttonology, which is click here, but not necessarily workflow training.
Yeah.
And so I think if I were to ever do this again, I would make sure that we weren't focusing on buttonology, that we were really focusing on proper at the elbow support, workflow training, and the day in a life sessions, really boosting those up prior to go live, so that when you do go live, it's a little easier for them. And so I think there were, it was hard. It was really hard on the docs, and therefore it was hard on us. We didn't like seeing them staying up until midnight finishing their notes, or having to get to work at 5 a.m. to pre-chart. And so that it was not fun for anyone, for the organization. But I think a lot of this had to do with the fact that we were in COVID, that we had, some change management opportunities, and we were not fully staffed enough to support the amount of at the elbow support needed. But in that first year, we really focused on the docs. And, we said, let's go out and round. My team, so analysts, they were rounding in clinics. They were rounding with the physicians. We made it apparent that I'm available. Here's my cell phone number. The CMIO, their team, they were out rounding. We increased our at the elbow support and our support specialist program. We moved the physician calls from the help desk directly to the support specialist team. We've been reevaluating our training curriculum and programs and accommodating for workflow training. And so there are things that we've learned, and working again so closely with the Arch Collaborative and having that better end user experience, and how can we increase that, usability for the system, with our physicians, really diving into the signal data. So those that were struggling in the system, having targeted training, saying, I'm going to block an hour with you. So to shadow you, see what you're doing well and see where you have some opportunities, really working on efficiencies in the system. And so that first year and a half was really about the docs.